versus Thrall.
Alright, so got another Shaman matchup here. Want some good low-cost minions here, so we keep the Loot Hoarder, send away Fireball, and the Azure Drake. See what we get back. Alright, perfect. That's actually going to curve out very nicely. Alright, let's get down that Mana Worm. So I got the Loot Hoarder set up for the second turn, and hopefully, if he drops a Totem Golem, I can drop the Thalnos and Arcane Blast it away. So, well, I will be very happy when Rockbiter Weapon is no longer a 1 casting cost card. But for now, I'll deal with it, get my Loot Hoarder down, and put some pressure on his totems. Really important to be able to keep Shaman off the board if you can. Alright, perfect. And like I mentioned before, that sets up pretty well for this play right here. Having the additional spell damage minions makes a huge difference in the early game. A lot more consistent than the Shaman who has to rely on hitting that hero power. Alright, so I'm not terribly worried about the Angry Chicken there, but I don't have a whole lot. So let's draw some cards and see where we go. See what comes onto the board here. Alright. Alright, so that's a bit of a pain. Got a pretty big board presence built up here. So I've got the option of Azure Drake or Barnes. I think Barnes seems like a pretty good play. You can follow him up. If you hit something like Archmage Antonidas, you can follow him up with the Arcane Missiles. Azure Drake I think is probably the safer play though. So let's get him down. See, the thing with the Azure Drake, being a 4/4, none of his guys... Okay, well, I was going to say none of them trade very effectively into him, but I suppose if you have the Totem Golem to pump up there, then they kind of do. So, still a lot of damage on the board, but this Emperor is going to set me up for a pretty big turn a couple turns from now. Or next turn if I want to do it. Flame Waker into Forgotten Torch, into Arcane Missiles, with the Cult Sorcerer backing all that up. So I can pretty much decimate his board next turn if it suits me at the moment. But let's see what he does on his side of the board first.
What to do?
He figures out what to do here. He's probably going to have to trade 2 of his minions. If he's got something from hand, maybe he can Lightning Bolt and just trade 1 of those guys in. But I'm suspecting, since it's taking him a while, that he's got a bit of a difficult decision. He's probably going to end up having to trade the 2/3 and the 3/4 into the Emperor, because you can't let me keep an Emperor on the board for more than 1 turn.
There is little time.
You think my hand looks ridiculous now? 1 more Emperor proc will make a big difference. Alright, so I don't know why it took him so long to figure that out. It seemed like a pretty straightforward play, but who knows what his options were. Either way, that's a pretty big board, and I think I probably have to go and do some clearing. Yeah. So let's get the Flame Waker out there. Cult Sorcerer. Probably throw the Forgotten Torch first and then follow it up with the missiles. And then if I need to clean something up, I've got the hero power to do it with. Alright, this should clear this out. Alright. That's the sort of thing this deck can do, and that's why this Shaman matchup is actually pretty good. So you have so many cards that allow you to set up a big swing turn like that.
Did you bring some fish?
Alright, well those... See, that is why Tuskar Totemic needs that nerf. That's kind of ridiculous there. But this is a little bit of justice. So, let's throw down Barnes first, before we throw out the Arcane Explosion, just in case... Alright, well that was actually pretty relevant. I was thinking maybe Archmage, but I'm pretty content with that too. Alright, and then throw Fireball and a Hero Power at the face. And then we're set up for Fireball for the win next turn. Not a whole lot he can do about that. Can't see any way he's getting in 17 damage from an empty board, so I think this one's ours, boys. Yeah, well, he did manage to clear the board off. Well, almost.
You win this